Have you ever chosen the longer road just because the shorter one looked painful? Have you ever kept delaying the one hard conversation, the one brave step, the one necessary climb, telling yourself you would do it later when you felt stronger? Most people think avoiding the storm is wisdom, but sometimes the storm is the teacher. Sometimes the hill in front of you is not there to stop you. It is there to enlarge you. Today's story is about a stable boy named Walter, a boy with no title, no armor, no grand education. Yet he did what princes could not. And when he reached the top of the windy hill, he discovered a truth that can change the way you face every obstacle in your own life. Between two mountains there stood a kingdom where one road wound all the way around the hills to reach the sea. It was long, slow, tiring, but safe. At least that is what people said, because in the middle of that land stood a steep rise called the Hill of Heavy Wind. The villagers feared it, travelers warned against it. Parents used it to frighten children. The wind will throw you down. It will strip you of everything. It is not worth the risk. So year after year, people walked the long road. And year after year, their lives grew smaller without them noticing. Among them was a stable boy named Walter. He cleaned stalls, carried water, brushed horses, rose before dawn, and slept after dark. He owned very little, but inside him there burned a quiet hunger. He did not want to spend his whole life walking in circles around fear. Still, he said nothing, because in a kingdom where even nobles avoided the hill, what place was there for a stable boy to dream of climbing it? One autumn morning, the old king ordered a flag to be planted at the top of the hill. Then he made a strange decree. Whoever brings it back before sunset, he said, will receive more than gold, because anyone who can master that hill can master himself. The princes stepped forward first. The eldest trusted his shining armor. He climbed with pride. The wind hit him before noon. It ripped his crimson cloak, stole his balance, and sent him stumbling back to the base. The second prince never even climbed. He stayed in the library drawing routes and measuring angles. He made perfect plans on perfect paper. But paper never touched the mountain. Then came knights, strong men, broad shoulders, heavy boots. Each one believed power would be enough. But the hill did not care who they were. The wind punished arrogance. The slope exposed stiffness. Those who fought against the mountain were thrown back by it. Soon the crowd laughed and shook their heads. Impossible, cursed, pointless. Then from the edge of the gathering came a quiet voice. May I try? It was Walter. Dust on his clothes, calluses on his hands. No rank, no weapon, only clear eyes. The crowd burst into laughter. He'll fly like straw. But the king did not laugh. He looked at Walter for a long moment and said, Go. The hill does not choose titles. It chooses hearts. Walter did not climb like the princes. He did not charge. He did not boast. He watched. He listened. At the first blast of wind, he lowered his body close to the earth. At the second, he moved sideways between the rocks. When the gusts pushed from behind, he let them carry him a little farther. He was not trying to defeat the wind. He was learning how it moved. That changed everything. The others fought the hill as if challenge were an enemy. Walter treated it like a language. He slipped, cut his knee on sharp stone, bled into the dust. But he rose again. He tied rope around jutting rock, used cracks in the earth, paused when the mountain said pause, moved when the wind said move. Halfway up, he looked down. Far below, he saw the old road curving endlessly around the mountain. Tiny figures still walking it, still choosing distance over difficulty. And something hardened inside him, not pride, resolve. I did not come this far to go back down as the same person. By the time he reached the top, the wind was howling like a living beast. The flag snapped wildly against its pole. Walter's hands shook. His breath burned, but he stepped forward through the roar and seized the cloth. And in that moment, something strange happened. The wind did not become gentler. The mountain did not become easier. He had become stronger. That was the lesson. Obstacles do not always change for your comfort. Sometimes they stay exactly the same so you can see how much you have changed. Walter descended with the flag in both hands. His steps were slow, certain. The same crowd that had laughed at him now stood silent. Not because the hill had been conquered, but because a boy they considered small had returned larger than any of them. The king took the flag and asked, "What did the hill teach you?" Walter answered. At the bottom, the wind felt like punishment, but higher up I began to understand it. It was never there to destroy me. It was teaching me where to bend, where to wait, where to lean, where to trust. The hill did not change. The wind did not change. I changed. The king smiled. Then he said words the kingdom would remember for generations. Obstacles do not come to stop us. They come to train us. After that day, the kingdom changed. A new path was cut across the hill, not around it, across it. And Walter led the way, because he understood the breath of the wind. He showed others where to crouch, where to step, where to wait, where to move, with force instead of against it. The hill that once kept people small became the very thing that made them stronger. Travel became shorter. Trade became faster. Fear lost its throne. And Walter, the stable boy nobody respected, became the guide people trusted most. Not because he had never fallen, but because he had learned how to rise inside resistance. All of us have a windy hill, a fear we keep circling, a pain we keep postponing, a challenge we keep renaming as not the right time. And every day we choose the longer road thinking we are protecting ourselves. But the longer road does not always protect you. Sometimes it slowly shrinks you. Sometimes the true danger is not the hill ahead. It is the life you lose by avoiding it. So, ask yourself honestly, what hill have you been walking around? What hard thing have you delayed for so long that delay itself has become a habit? The challenge in front of you may not disappear. The wind may still blow. The slope may still hurt. But when you step into it, you may discover the same truth Walter discovered. The world opens, not because the obstacle gets smaller, but because you get bigger. If this story spoke to something inside you, leave these words below: I will climb, not as a performance, as a commitment, as a line drawn in the dust. A promise that you will stop circling fear and start training through it, because the hill is not your enemy. It is your teacher.